The Retro Lounge is a look back into the archives of the Recruiters Lounge podcast with Jim Stroud and Karen Mattonen. The Recruiters Lounge podcast posted weekly between the years of 2005 and 2010. With energy, wit, and opposite points of view, Jim Stroud and Karen Mattonen discussed, debated, and squabbled like children over HR issues that affected the workplace and society overall for the benefit of all who would listen. The Recruiters Lounge episode that was originally posted on April 10th, 2007 was about, let's read the description. Jim Stroud and the long-lost Karen Mattonen discussed the changes happening at recruiting.com and H1-B visas. Has Karen found a loophole in the system? ? Dun, dun, dun. That is what's being discussed in this particular episode, which was originally titled Having Fun with H1-B Visas. And as I recall, this had several shout-outs to John Sumser. Papa John, shout out to you.
Radio Innovative audio on demand.
Hi, I'm Jim Stroud. Welcome to the Recruiters Lounge. The Recruiters Lounge is a podcast of news, interviews, and commentary on the recruiting industry, and it was designed with you in mind. So sit back, relax, and enjoy your time in the Recruiters Lounge. Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another exciting episode of the Recruiters Lounge. But first, a word from our sponsor. Bounty Jobs. The new frontier of recruiting is a friend to recruiters and employers alike. As an online marketplace, Bounty Jobs helps employers find talent effectively, faster, and without bruising the bottom line. For recruiters, it's a way to alleviate business development hassles while earning more money and building your reputation at the same time. Now, I like Bounty Jobs because it is easy to use, delivers top clientele with no upfront fees to use its service. Simply put, when a placement is made, a modest percentage of the fee goes to Bounty Jobs, with the majority of the fees going to you, the recruiter. It's the kind of win-win deal that is hard to walk away from, but hey, see for yourself. Find Bounty Jobs online at www.bountyjobs.com. That's www.bountyjobs.com.
Right now, millions of people are looking for and finding jobs on the internet. But are you getting paid when they find a job? Well, now you can. When online employment sites like Monster and CareerBuilder came on the scene, they took billions of dollars out of the pockets of the recruiter. But now, there's a new sheriff in town called WorkGiant, the recruiter's best friend. WorkGiant is empowering recruiters throughout the country to take back your industry. WorkGiant is a national and broadly focused job board, but with some very distinct differences. One difference is, with WorkGiant, employers and recruiters can post jobs for free, search the resume database for free, and only pay 1% upon a hire. WorkGiant markets through professionals in the industry. Why? Because it's your industry. As a professional recruiter, you have the employer relationships. You have the job seeker contacts. It is your industry. It's yours to take back now. WorkGiant will never replace recruiter value-added services. In fact, we offer you a way to monetize 95% of the market that currently goes to the online job board industry. Refer current or former clients and surplus job seekers to your WorkGiant affiliate website. Refer once, and you own the relationship. Then get paid every time they make a hire for as long as they make hires. Someone is going to lock up your employer contacts. It might as well be you. Every time a hire is made by one of your clients or one of your job seeker referrals, you get paid. It's that easy. So take back your industry with the power of residual income from WorkGiant.
Hello and welcome once again to another exciting, action-packed episode of the Recruiters Lounge. I'm your host, Jim Stroud, and with me in the lounge, I'm so very happy to say that my long-lost co-host, Karen Mattonen, is back with me. How are you, Karen?
I missed you, Jim.
Miss you too. Where you been?
Actually, where have you been? You've been in India.
Well, yeah.
You had a good time, didn't you?
I did have a good time.
Oh, gosh, it's nice to be back, by the way. But tell us a bit about India. What happened there, man?
Oh, well, I was over there training some recruiters on how to use internet to source those hidden candidates out there. And show them how to find them in India, and I showed them how to find them all over the world, which is, as you know, something that I do.
Oh,
and
my gosh.
Had a great time, met some good people. If you go to my site, jimstroud.com, you'll see some links to pictures I took over there and some videos I made and all that wonderful stuff.
You know what? This just makes you an international recruiter trainer.
Woohoo!
I mean, you have just raised the echelon now. Do you know that?
Oh, please, keep
Very
going,
few
keep
people
going.
can actually do that. You got the title. You are now the infamous international trainer recruiting guru.
International man of mystery, like Austin Powers.
There you go. And you are just as sexy. You know that.
Yeah, baby.
So what's up, man?
Well, let's talk about you. You've been gone. We must have had probably 3 episodes without you, I think. You've been doing different things. Let the people know what you've been up to.
Well, you know that I've been getting into this training school, right?
Yep.
And we're going to be you and I actually are going to be breaking ground in a couple of weeks. We'll talk about that later. We won't get into that.
Yes. Another podcast.
It's another podcast. But I guess I have gotten an invitation to speak at U.S. Recruiters. I think it's May 3rd. With George, my partner, and I'm very excited, extremely nervous, and I think I'm putting everybody I know that I love very much on edge.
No comment.
No kidding. So I want to apologize to everybody I love anyways. And, yeah, I've been extremely busy putting those things together and getting all the stuff ready for that.
Okay, groovy. And I think you had another project. Are you ready to talk about your other project that's coming out soon, too, or we're going to leave people in suspense on that as well?
Which one? The radio show?
That's right.
Oh, that's right. Recruiting and Ethics with Karen Mattonen.
Karen's going to go have her own show. She's leaving me, people. She's leaving me to do her own show.
You're one of my guests over there on a frequent basis as well.
Oh, well, I guess we're not leaving each other. We're just sort of
complimenting each other.
That's a good word, complimenting each other.
That's a good word.
We're going from podcast to podcast, spreading the love of recruiting and ethics all over the world.
There you go. Gosh, you can't use that ethics word, though. That's like blasphemy in this industry. Don't use that E word. That is considered like the F word or the G word or whatever, you know. You can't use that word.
Did you know that recruiting.com is under new management?
Oh, yeah.
Just to go into a blatant transition there or a bad transition. But
well, I know there's a couple of comments wondering if he's going to end up purchasing it. I wonder if that's what's going to happen.
I wonder. Well, for people who aren't familiar with recruiting.com, and it may be 1 or 2 people out there who don't know about recruiting.com, that is a recruiting portal which showcases a lot of recruiter mindset and thought and a lot of arguments and commentary about the recruiting industry there.
Kind of. Probably right. I personally think that Jim Stroud's blog is probably one of the most informative blogs regarding the recruiting industry.
Okay, here's $20. And it was recruited by Jason Davis. Started by Jason Davis and eventually sold it to Jobster for an obscene amount of money, I hear. But now he's getting ready to leave recruiting.com altogether, and it's going to be under new management. And I think the new person is, drumroll, John Sumsner, who was a guest here in Recruiting Lounge some time ago.
Yeah, and he also was a guest on my show as well, too.
Yeah.
And so I wonder how long this has been in the works, but, you know, it's pretty interesting, and I wonder what he will do with his other blog.
Yeah, well, you know, he's been writing on recruitment issues since well, I don't want to date him, but
he's on several boards. I mean, he's got an impressive background.
Oh yeah, you know, when I first got into the whole HR game, his blog or site or newsletter, whatever it was called back then, was, you know, like required reading for me. I had to start my day off by reading his daily commentary. So it's very informative.
He's a great writer, and he's also a very stern teacher, because I sent him something, and I asked if he would like to post it. He did send me back a retort as to why I needed to fix my grammar and fix how I spelled. My sentences were too long. He did put me in my place, and I think that's the reason I've never decided to blog.
Oh, because John Sasso gave you some creative, constructive criticism?
Oh, yeah, it's extremely constructive. It was well-deserved. I got to tell you, it was well-deserved. I had a lot of egg all over my face. And so...
Well, he's just trying to make you a better writer, that's all.
He was. I'm not upset with him. I really am not. But what it did, though, it did pull the air out of my bubble, and so from then on I just decided not to ever blog. It's like, hey, no, it was constructive, okay? It was extremely constructive. That is all I can say.
John, if you're listening, reach out and give Karen a hug so she'll feel better about her writing.
I am not upset with him. I just want to make it be known. I am not upset with him for that, okay? Just if everybody wants to know why I'm never blogging, that's why, okay?
Well, you're getting more traction leaving comments on other blogs. And
I think so. I think Amy pulled that out one day, that I tend to be what I call, I'm a blogger in my own true sense, but I've kind of cut back on that too. It will be nice to see what's going to happen and the changes that will occur on recruiting.com. Hopefully it will be more recruiting related. Right. And less commentary about personal vendettas or personal this or personal that. I think that alone would be interesting to see, because John is a firm believer of the industry, and it might improve the quality and quantity of it.
Well, one thing for sure, he's not shy on opinion. He writes a great deal. And it's very consistently very interesting stuff that he writes. So I'm real curious to see how recruiting.com transform under his fatherly hands.
It's very authoritative, isn't it?
Yeah. So
he's got a lot of good authoritative opinions. I mean, everything that he has stated in this industry tends to, not everything, but a lot of what he says comes true.
Well, it will not be any shortage of opinion on that.
Sure.
And that's a good thing.
On that one.
That's a good thing. Let me switch gears a little bit. Let's talk about something. What have you talking about in recruiting industry?
Recently, I heard that the H1-B visas.
Yes. That's quite a buzz there. It's like they put out a dinner bell saying H1-B visas are out, and in one day they were gone. Here's a snippet that I read, that I saw here in the paper. It says U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services said Tuesday it reached its limit for 2008 skilled worker visa petitions in a single day and will not accept any more, to the dismay of technology companies that rely on the visas to hire foreign employees.
Absolutely. Now, what people don't understand, before you go ahead and go, and hang your head, okay?
Insert violin music here.
Right. There is an exemption.
There's an exemption.
There's cap exemptions, yes, for current H-1B visas.
Explain cap exemptions.
Okay. The cap is $20,000, okay? So basically, the first 21,000 people who came in for just regular H-1B visas for a particular job, all those were expired. Those are the ones that they're talking about, okay?
Okay.
But then these are exemptions to the cap for current H-1B visas, and individuals who earn master's or higher degrees are exempt from any fiscal year cap on available H-1B visas.
Oh, so there's a little loophole there.
There is a loophole. So, for example, let's say that Mr. Joe Blow Company wants to go ahead and hire an H-1B visa. Well, he can't bring somebody in from out of the country. But if he comes across a candidate, say locally, who's already got one, he can take that visa and transfer it.
Ah.
Still costs money, but it's not as expensive. It's a lot easier to do so.
Start calling you Loophole Karen, because you know all the loopholes there.
Well, and then there's also, as I said, the other, if the person has an education, now they could be in India right now.
Right.
If the person has an education of a college degree of master's or bachelor's from, now each of these have a number too, okay? They have kind of a cap on it too, but it's different, okay?
Yep.
So, but if they got a master's or a bachelor's from America schools, in other words, they speak English well, they went to school here, they got their degree here, then they, too, are exempted. So basically the cap was just, that $20,000 is just basically the standard H-1B visas. Wow.
And speaking of H-1B visas, I just, as you were saying that, I came across this article, too, that I'm sort of scanning as we're talking. This new bill that was introduced by Senator Dick Durbin and Chuck Grassley. Chuck Grassley of Iowa, and Dick Durbin of Illinois. So they're introducing some legislation which will toughen H-1B visa program, especially its enforcement provisions. And as I look at this article, I'm seeing here where it says, as part of the announcement, the two lawmakers said the measure would authorize the U.S. Department of Labor to hire 200 additional employees to administer, oversee, investigate, and enforce the H1-B program. Isn't that amazing?
So needed.
You think so?
Oh, my gosh, absolutely.
Why is that?
Okay, I can give you several reasons. Like, for example, remember that case we were talking about here in California?
Yep.
Where those people were being held as prisoners?
Mm-hmm.
And all these individuals were coming into the country because the employment firm, staffing firm, had created fraudulent visas.
Yep.
Well, that's the problem. I mean, here are these people coming into the country with these fraudulent visas, and nobody was double-checking to see if they were real.
Oh.
Okay, that's number one. Number two, we got a lot of terrorists in this country, too, right?
Sad but true.
And, some of them, too, are holding H-1B visas.
Right.
So, we've got to get stiffer on these, background checks on them, too. I mean,
so this could be actually could be segmented to a Homeland Security type of initiative?
I don't know if that's what that law says. I haven't read it, but I'm betting that more than likely what they're kind of focusing on is trying to make sure that there's lesser on the fraudulent aspect, and that we're bringing people in for the jobs that they're supposed to be doing, because you'll find that somebody's saying that they're going to hire someone on an H-1B visa to be an IT tech, but they're actually bringing in this person to be Louisa, the maid.
I see.
Okay, so what you'll find is that there's just so many aspects of fraud in regards to H-1B visas that, we've got people who, we have probably about, let's say the cap was 20,000. There's probably 40,000 visas out there, okay, meaning that 20,000 are fraud. So you've got a lot of people, and there's a lot of these people who are holding these visas not realizing they're working fraudulent.
Well, I read this article that's exactly one of the things that it's covering. In addition to that, the measure will require companies to advertise job openings for 30 days on the Department of Labor's website before submitting applications to hire H-1B workers. Oh,
and that's another thing. You're absolutely right. I just remember even reading on recruiting.com, there was this guy who put of course, you couldn't figure out who he was. It was anonymous, okay?
Right.
And he was saying their company only hires H-1B visas only. They don't hire any Americans, and they got mad at Americans who were pretending to be H-1B visa holders.
Get out.
Yes, I remember.
Wait a minute. So some Americans are pretending to be foreign nationals with H-1B just so they can work here in their own country?
Yes.
Oh, that's bizarre.
That's
bizarre.
I read that. I was just cracking up. I have to find that. I was going to send that to you so you can write that out, okay?
Yeah, because that's...
You've got to write something about this, because I was crying, rolling off the floor, but yet I was so angry at it because I responded back, of course, you know me.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, that is, like everybody else was too, dude, that is so illegal. You talk about reverse discrimination there.
You know what? That sounds like an episode of my comic strip. I'm going to put that in my comic strip. For those who are listening who may not know it, I have a comic strip called The Recruiting Life. Also, another shameless plug, on JimStroud.com, where I make fun of the recruiting industry, and it is that type of thing that I do comics about. That is too funny.
I was like, it's kind of funny, but it's sad because this guy was talking about how angry he was.
Right.
He talked about one particular situation because I think the actual thing was based on candidates lying or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, yeah, and I got these candidates who lie, and this guy was pretending to have a foreign name, and he was, like, totally American, and you could tell he was trying to pretend to be illegal. We only hire H1B visa people. I'm like, oh, my God.
But see, this is where I'm a little fuzzy on it, and someone may be fuzzy as well, because this may be a general conception that a lot of people have about H1B visas. Before a company can even post to get those, don't they have to make a goodwill effort or a good faith effort, whatever the word is, to look for Americans anyway before they go that route? Well,
a company is supposed to make a good faith effort to also hire women or minorities. Doesn't mean that they do it. I mean, it's like, for example, this is probably another reason why they're coming down on this, too, is because there's a lot of companies who will go ahead and hire H-1B visas under contract.
Yep.
They'll hire them under much lower employment wages. There are recruiters out there who are making these people pay back the fee. It's like they'll bring them in and say, you have to pay us immediately for the fee. Okay, there is like so much crime involved with H-1B visas. It just makes you cry. In fact, one H-1B visa guy not too long ago, I think about 4 years ago, he won $1 million from a company because they were just stealing his taxes and all this. They said that he had to pay his own taxes. He had to pay his own workman's comp. They were charging him more money and making him pay for everything. So he got $1 million.
Wow.
Plus the attorney fees and a few other things. But yeah, I mean, that was an interesting story. I have that one too, and I'll send that to you. But I was like, yeah, I mean, you can't just go around messing with people because a lot of people think these guys don't have rights. What people don't realize is that illegals even have rights. You can actually be an illegal alien here, and if you're being paid less than minimum wage, or you're not getting the same benefits or the same treatment or the same salary, guess what, guys? You've got recourse. You don't have to be a citizen or you don't have to be a citizen or a legal resident.
So it's basically that they get taken advantage of just because they just don't know any better.
Well, the thing is, a lot of people don't know better, or number two, they're too scared. I mean, if I'm here illegal, do you think I want to go report this to the government?
I see your point.
Because they're going to kick me out. Well, they'll fight on your behalf and then kick you out later. Okay? So at least you'll get to leave with $1 million.
Right.
You know, but a lot of the times, too, it's a fair tactic. Like, okay, if you do this, if you go report us, we're going to go ahead and make sure you get kicked back out of the country, or we'll do this or we'll do that, you know. I mean, they scare them to make them think that they don't have any recourses, or why the American government won't care about you. You're not an American citizen, that kind of stuff.
Well, I got to say, it's so nice to have you back in the lounge once again. It's been so long.
It has been so long. I really missed you.
Oh, feel the love, people. Feel the love.
Well, you are my best friend buddy in the world.
I'm going to cry. If anyone has any questions or commentary about this episode of Recruiter's Lounge, by all means, feel free to give me an email. I can reach that Jim Stroud at JimStroud@jimstroud.com. And if you want to reach Karen, you can also drop her a note at Karen will give you email out, or have them contact you through me.
Have them contact them through you.
Okay. Seeing as I'm her personal secretary, you can reach Karen through my email.
I get 300 emails a day in spam. I don't need any more. No way.
You can ask letters, emails to Karen through me as well, and we'll get them together, and we'll go through them, and we will talk and touch base from that point on. So any last few comments, Karen, before we head out here?
You know, I was just thinking about something that someone said, you know.
What's that?
Somebody thought that being aware of the laws makes you get all scared and nervous and makes you not want to recruit. I'm like, no, you know what? Being aware of the laws is like putting headlights on a foggy day, on a dark country road, okay? It just makes you a lot more safer. And actually, I find that I'm a better recruiter because I'm just more cautious, but it doesn't mean I'm stilted in what I'm doing. There you have it. Keeping it legal is keeping you safe. That's Karen Mattonen, and I'm Jim Stroud, and together we thank you for being in the Recruiter's Lounge. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Well, that's it for this show. You've been a wonderful audience. If you like what you heard, love what you heard, or just plain hate what you just heard, let me know. Your feedback matters. You can reach me through my website at jimstroud.com/podcast. That's JimStroud.com/podcast. So until next time, I'm Jim Stroud, and you're not. Radio talent.
Innovative audio on demand.
And so this ends this edition of the Retro Lounge, home of classic episodes of the Recruiter's Lounge podcast. If you haven't already, subscribe now so you don't miss a future episode. Okay? Cool. Until next time, bye-bye.